Here. Hello! And we are live. Awesome. Hello, Internet. Hello, world. And welcome to Wine Time Photo Rave. The show where we drink things and we talk about photography and video games. I am Amalava, and I am joined by the wonderful Mrs. Livin
Hello, hello.
and our great roundup of guests. Today I am having some lovely white wine that I got as a souvenir from my parents who did went to Paris, but to the Mosel region, which is a wine region in Germany. It's very sweet, but sadly, this is the last glass I have left. So I think I need to go on another trip. Well, Misters, what are you drinking?
I am drinking what I typically drink sometimes in Georgia is sweet tea. Well, half sweet tea, or I would just die over. I would fall over for diabetes, but
Is that
so
like iced tea?
yeah, it's iced tea with sugar in it. And in the South, it's so sugary that it's just like drinking a cake. So I half that. So I'm doing the
Nice.
tea today.
Cool.
How
What
about
flavor
everybody
is
else?
it?
It is just regular tea.
Oh, it
Now,
doesn't have
and
flavor.
so which means I'm doing it wrong because I'm in Georgia, which their, fruit is peach. And so a lot of people drink peach tree tea. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm surprised I'm not being arrested.
Well, the FBI is not listening yet.
Yeah, they're like, oh God, another one. Come get her.
All right. What about our guests? Hedda, what are you drinking?
I'll stick with my Coke.
Oh, Coke. Sweet. Do you have the full sugar Coke or the Coke Zero?
I'm not on diet. I have the full one.
The full one. What'd you say, Misters? It's like just had it. Like drinking a good beer.
Yeah, yeah, good Coke is like a good beer.
Oh yeah,
All that, just the
the
flavor, the way it hits
the
the
real
tongue,
one.
the
Okay.
sugar, the, the little zap, and then it goes right straight to the brain. No, I love it. But I've never thought about it. Never.
Cool. Well, Neo, hello. What are you drinking?
Hello, I'm going to say cheers to Misters because I'm having iced tea too.
Oh, sweet. Do you
It's a
have a
tea
flavor?
party.
Mine is red fruit, though, not like yours.
He's got a diet Coke.
I'm sorry. Say that again. I didn't see who was talking. Was that you, Carmo?
Oh no, I didn't say anything.
Well, now you did. What are you drinking?
It's
Oh,
just
I'm just drinking water
Oh, a
with
fizzy
with a
water
slice of
or a tap?
no, like tap water, but like with a slice of lemon in it.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
Nice. And we got Harry. What are you
I'm
drinking?
I'm not drinking anything.
Oh, nothing? Oh,
He's
no.
sober.
I drink water.
Say it again, please. Harry?
I drank coffee before the stream.
Oh, coffee before the stream. Do you do this fancy Turkish coffee where you have that long metal, what's it, kettle?
I can't drink that. It's so spicy for me.
Ah, it's so spicy. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not a coffee person, so I can't judge, but I think it looks very cool. Like you have that long metal kettle and you put it on a little
Yeah,
stove and
we
yeah.
have that. We have that in our houses.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. Sweet.
I'm just drinking to stay awake.
Oh yeah, it's late for you, right? I mean, it's late for
Yeah.
us too, but for you it's later.
Also, I'm sleeping so early normally.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
can't say that for me. Oh, and we got a chat going too. Sweet.
Of course.
We've got Eggs. Hello, Eggs. Cool to see you, or like see in some sort.
Mark joined us,
Mark is there. Hello, Mark. We
and
got
she's listening in her car.
yeah, probably on the way to work. And we got Sparbark. Hello, Sparbark. Sweet. Got a crowd. I love that. Cool. Well, Kimchi will also have her photo in the show, which we will talk later. That's cool that she could make it to the chat. And then we also have a photo from Record Photo, or Leia. She can't be here because she is sound asleep. This is in a very different time zone then. But she sent us her written remarks, just like always. Alright. Are we ready to start?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Let's get the party started.
Okay, here we go. First up, we have Neo with a shot from Control. Oh, also Control. Awesome. We just finished the Control contest, just in case anyone noticed. Just to slip that in, but keep talking.
So are you saying there's something going on with Control?
There has been.
Now it's over. Now it's over.
Are you controlling the discussion?
I'm
Get it,
sorry.
Control.
I kind of Don't get me started on Control. Come on. Here, let me mute myself.
So when someone like did the no with the echo, we should have like a control echo. Control, control, control.
That's basically what's in my head.
Okay, Neo. Okay, so I feel like I haven't done this in months. Okay. So I chose this one. I really love this shot. And the reason I picked it is one, I just have a thing for splitting images, which has nothing to do with the theme, but I just love images that have this sort of, not even a border, but sort of a split, and there's some sort of action happening on both sides, yet it's still in the same environment. And so I really like that about it. I like the color palette and the lighting in it from a compositional point of view. And from a Remnant point of view, it really sort of sparked my brain because I love the fact of these broken glass pieces. It in my head, it's sort of like, it's sort of the calm before the storm. So it would be sort of the pieces before the remnants. And I love the fact that those little pieces flying around in my head sort of represent these remnants that'll be left behind. And I really like that. And then on top of this, machinery, which looks very dated, just sort of reiterates that kind of remnant concept. And then I love the movement in it, where you have the sort of broken glass and then the pieces that are flying into the right, breaking that barrier, you know, on this other machinery type sort of composition. So it's just a really nice shot. I like it a lot. It's a really good one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I have much of a creepy story behind this shot, actually. It's good that Phoenix is in the chat because I have to give him a shout out because I got the idea from him.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about colors and out of nowhere, he made us look to something called trypophobia, which is something, the fear of holes. And if you Google that, it's probably going to give you nightmares. But if you approach this from a creative perspective, you can see really nice images of concepts with different things like insects, like insect wings or windows, or everything that can be holes add together next to each other. And I found it very beautiful, and I wanted to recreate that in game. And I was wondering which game I could pick, and Control came in mind because I keep shooting on windows for some reason. And this, when I was in front of the window, I had this idea because, like you said, it's split in two, and you can see the window that is not shattered and what remains of the window once you have shot it. And I didn't think really of the machinery behind. I was really focused on the window part, that you could see the different pieces breaking, but you can only see what remains of that window. But I have to say that I was kind of afraid that was too much of the last team was broken. So I'm kind of surprised that you actually picked that.
Oh no, I loved it. Yeah, it's a beautiful shot. And she's right. Don't look up that word. 'Cause
No, don't.
Yeah,
I'm
seriously,
about to
don't Google
have
that.
my breakfast right now. That's how disgusted I am.
No, please don't Google that.
Everyone who watches this will Google it, but seriously, we
Jesus.
told you so. So she told us so.
Okay. You've been warned, please.
Yep, you've been warned.
Good Lord. Okay, I'm trying to get my druthers back. Oh yeah. So, yeah, no, I really like it. I like everything about it. It's a really nice one.
And it's impressive if that comes from
Yeah.
like such a weird inspiration.
I know. I know.
Oh, yeah, I've never have guessed that.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see that you can turn creepy stuff into very creative ideas. Like I told Phoenix, because he always sends us like these creepy things, and he was like, "What? Did you actually turn this into something?"
Into art, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
No, please, in the chat, I see that you want to Google this. No, don't. You're gonna have nightmares.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell you, Axe. Oh shit, someone did. Well, whatever that word is, don't Google it. Don't Google it. Yeah, but this is just an awesome image. Did you plan on taking this? Well, you did for the holes, but did you go in and just shoot every window?
Oh no, this one I took it specifically for the theme for Remnants, because I knew that I wanted to shoot a window to have that effect, because I remembered that in a previous session of the game I didn't shoot completely a window, and I remember that it was still there, so I wanted to do that again to have the Remnants effect.
Oh, sweet. Smart.
Yeah. It's perfect. Because as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, nailed it.
Right?
It was weird because even I had to, in my head, I was like, wait, why are you seeing this as remnants? Like, because, I look at it and then I try to, think about how I'm going to talk about it. And I was like, oh, and then the other part of my brain's like, no, it makes complete sense. It was like, endless left brain, right brain discussion. And I was like, yeah, this has got to go in.
Well, thanks very much.
Sweet.
Yeah. Next.
All right. Next up, we have Karma with shots from Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. And this is a premiere because we are actually showing all of her set, so all of the 4 in one set, and not just picking one, because it's such a deep and dense story that I couldn't just pick one of it to represent it, because then one of the part would be underrepresented. And also, this was a mood challenge tweet, so it has a song with it, but I'm afraid if we play it, we're probably gonna get flagged for copyright or something. So I'm not gonna do that, but I put the link for the song in the description, so if you wanna check that out, you can do that down there. So what I wanna know is, did you have the story for this in mind before you went into the game, or did it just come along on the trip?
Well, when I first saw the theme, I was thinking, wow, this is like a really intense theme because it can go either way, and it can go pretty dark if you think of it. So in a way, I wanted to do something different that I've probably never gone in depth before. So I wanted to, okay, wait, let me see. Yeah, okay. So I had a bit of the story in mind going into the theme once I did a bit of research and everything. And then it was from there which game was I going to choose to represent the theme. I chose Uncharted Lost Legacy because for a while now I've been wanting to go back and take a few different shots because I had a few ideas um, that I actually really, really wanted to try. So yes, I wanted to represent a bit of a story in the full shots that I eventually took because like in the game, I was actually at the ending of the video game and I actually went all the way back to the beginning because I knew there was like um, the bit of the wall part and everything. And I really, really liked the architecture and the feel and the brokenness, that you find like in the first area of the games. So for me, when I sort of came up with the bit of the story that I had in mind for the theme, I knew that that was the area that I was going to go shoot in. So yeah, um, it's a bit of a deep, dark story, but yeah, I did my best and I started off in the prologue and I had a shot in mind of, the innocence of the child, especially within, because we're all basically grown up now, but somewhere deep down inside, we still have, that childlike tendency and it is still there with us. But in my story, I wanted to represent like um, a woman now older, but because of such pain and all that was happening to her in the past as something lost, destroyed, taken away from like the innocent child, those memories or the remnants um, still remain,
Mm-hmm.
So for me, um, when it came to taking all the shots, I have to say I took quite a lot of photos because I'm not one to just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna put the character there and like just shoot it and then move on. I like move the camera and I test all the lighting. So it takes me a couple of hours, I'll say, just to get the perfect shot and see how I really like it to bring out the mood and that feeling of when someone actually looks at it, they they can either like feel a photo, and yeah. So I started off with taking the photos in order. So the first shot I was the little girl. Um, it was more of a high contrast photo, but I loved, when I got the sun in front of her, uh, it cast the shadow like behind her. So that was one of the shots that I had in mind, that I knew that that will be the representation of the innocence and the purity of a child.
Oh, you did a perfect
And
job on portraying that.
yeah. And then from there, I wandered around, and um, I always like look at everything. So that also takes me more hours because I totally go in depth and look at like all the little details and everything. And I have to say that Naughty Dog did an excellent job in this game, with all the details and everything. And I knew I was looking for like lights, and because it's like at the beginning of the part is majority at nighttime. The lighting in the streets were on, and for the first time, I actually took a deeper look into it and saw all the shadows and the different lighting and casting. And um, by chance, I walked past this chair, and this teddy bear was like just screaming out at me with the blankets. And I was like, wow, that could actually be quite a good shot because now I've got the girl, right? So the teddy bear can be, because more of the brokenness of like the child, and what happened to her or whatever was taken from her, because now this is like sort of in wartime as well. So for a child, that can be very intimidating and scary, especially if you lose someone at that age or something bad happens to you. So here, I I like my angles, so I'm a bit of a Dutch tilt girl. Even in
Yeah,
my
me
real
too.
photography, I like taking everything at angles because I feel it like elongates like the feel of the picture, and you can draw people's eyes in. So
It
with
also
this
makes them
one,
stranger, I think. Like it makes them
yes,
more
yes, it does.
interesting. Yeah.
Yes. I actually remember my teacher saying, when I first took a couple of shots, she was like, "Oh wait, you're doing Dutch tilt, and that's like
Like a no-no.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, a no-no for like a beginner in photography." But um, apparently, I was a Dutch tilt girl from the beginning. I don't know. Every photo is always at a tilt and an angle, and then it gets people's heads tilting. But anyways, I can't help it. It's just the way I see the world, and I think it's beautiful and unique in every way. But okay, so getting back to the photo with the bear, there was actually like a lamp on top of the chair, and I found it was unique because like it had like wires sticking out of it. Now, if you come to South Africa and you come down to Cape Town and you arrive at the airport, and wherever you're located in Cape Town, um, you will probably get driven past the shack area. There is absolutely no way of missing it. And it's basically, I would say, a lot of the Europeans and the people that do come visit, they see it as a tourist attraction. And if you do go to some of the tourist attractions, like the wine farms and everything, you'll see that like the local artists at their stands and everything, they actually sell artwork of the shacks. And it just reminded me of like the wires and everything connected, um, like to each other. So
Hmm.
there's always wires sticking out of the light bulbs and and the telephone poles and everything. So the way the lighting was shining down on the chair, it was catching some of the wires sticking out, and this casted this like weird, strange, eerie shadow coming out of the corner.
Oh,
And
so that's what it
when
is.
yes, and when I tilted the camera, because I like it like coming out of the one corner and then it leads into the next corner. That's like leading someone's eye into the photo. That's basically what you get learned and taught in photography is especially with leading lines. That's the best way, and it will capture um, the imaginations of many. So when I saw this, I was like, wow, the shadow is like really intense, and it could be like the nightmare or the darkness, like coming after the child or something. And if you actually have a bit of a look, it's all by the steps, especially. There's like a bit of trash around, and the teddy bear is a bit broken. So it's like those scary nightmares coming out from underneath your bed, and it's like trying to get a hold of the child and like damage um its the child's purity in a way, you know what I'm saying? So that was that shot. And then third, I actually took the door as my third shot, but I swapped it around with my fourth shot because I wanted to tell the story. But, anyways, yeah, the door is actually in the beginning of after you, I think, lockpick um, into one of the areas to try and get to the roof to Nadine Ross, um, to the Pink Lotus, I think. So, yeah, and on the left side there's stairs leading up, and then when I turned I saw the door and I was like, wow, this could be a really good shot, because for me the door represents the you locking all the pain and the remnants that you don't actually want to remember away in your mind behind some door. So that's what that shot represents at the end of the day, is like the pain is all behind the door. Um, and the last thing you actually want is it to open and you feel all the pain and all the memories and all the brokenness, and you as a person feel shattered at the end of the day. And I also think, all the broken and the rubble leading up to the door just draws your eye in as well. So yeah, that was another intense shot that I also took a couple of photos of, but I landed up with this one. And then the fourth shot with Chloe looking up to the light bulb. I actually saw a similar shot like this a while back. I can't remember the visual photographer. I'm so sorry. But there,
If anyone can, let us
there,
know in the comments or in the chat, and we give them a
yeah,
late shout out.
yeah, cool. Um, but their shot was a landscape, and it was underneath a different light bulb. Um, in the hotel. I think it's a hotel. Um, so yeah, I knew I wanted a grown-up figure that um, that is the the person that has the pain and everything. So I used Chloe to represent that, and I wanted it to be very dark, like she's standing in a broken place, and there's just this tiny little light bulb on top of her, and she's like looking up from out of the darkness, and she's remembering, either what happened to her as a little child, um, or what she lost as a little child. She's looking up into the light, like um, sort of like trying to keep the pain away, but the pain is there and it's a part of her, and it's made her who she is today. Um, so yeah, she's looking up and she's remembering what happened to her, and then at the same time, she's trying to keep the pain at bay and keep it locked behind the door. But at the same time, she's remembering the innocence of the child within her, you know, that lands up being at peace, standing in perfect light. So yeah, it's a bit of a long story, and then along with the song, it's very impacting. So yeah.
Yeah, the song also was for me what was the most striking about this combination, like the song and the photos together. Because from the photos you already get the story of the child being having some kind of nightmare or anything bad, and then breaking free from it, looking to the light. But then if you pair it with the song, it gets even stronger. And there's especially specifically one text passage in the song that made that happen for me, which is making friends with the monsters underneath my bed, hoping they don't leave me for dead, which kind of says everything in just in just like two
Yeah,
sentences. Because you do
yeah,
have
it
the
does.
image of the child being afraid of the dark, of the monsters under the bed, or whatever is happening, but then in the end, searching and finding the light from the images, which just perfectly represents the feeling.
Yeah, it really does. I agree with you. And then also, like, I remember one of the passages in the song is like, I hope someone's watching over me,
Hmm.
as in like protection. And for me, that's like represented in the light as well. So,
Right.
like, you can find yourself in so much pain and brokenness as a person, even um, like say now we're all grown-ups, right? But each of us that are here today or whoever's listening, right? We all have our own um like past and our own pains that we have to deal with. So at the end of the day, this I wanted to represent not just for me or for the theme, for everyone out there. It's like you have this brokenness and this pain, and I know at times like you want to just give up, right? But you know you can't. You just have to like get up out of that brokenness, rise up into the light, right? And like just
Right.
press forward and just go, go for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's at the end
Which
of the
is
day,
exactly
it's a
also why we couldn't just show one of the photos, because I was drawn most to the one to the second in the set with Chloe looking up at the light bulb, that has like the dark but also a bit of light. But I felt that the light part was just completely underrepresented if you just show one of these photos. So we had to show all of them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because like I know you guys originally said that um we were only allowed to have one post, and I knew, okay, I've got like four shots I can probably tell like a really good story with, because I don't think just with one shot it's going to tell the full story.
Hmm.
And to also tell, that sort of that pain aspect, and then also the light. So like with the second photo, it is very dark, and the light is represented very little. But within the darkness, just that little bit of light, right, is more than enough to like cancel out the darkness, if you know what I'm saying.
Right. Um, Phoenix just has a very, very sweet notion in the chat. He says, when you start a story or a book or a novel, and the writer just captivates your entire set of emotions throughout the pages, and you never want it to end. And he says your narration of your photos was just that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Mm.
I really appreciate that very much. Wow.
It's a
I
great
knew
set.
going into this, yeah, I knew going into this, I had to like make an impact. And to be honest with you guys, I was actually not well at all when taking these photos. I think I was running a very high fever. So
Oh
yeah,
no.
um, yeah, remember telling even Heather like I'm taking these photos, but I'm like running a high fever and I don't know if I'm doing correctly, but I really want to like show an
Oh,
impact
wow.
and
Oh,
like
That's so
really do it.
sweet. Just for
that's
us.
nice.
That's awesome.
Aw.
Well, it's good that you're feeling better now. That we
Yeah, I'm
can
like
have you
feeling much
here.
better now. Yeah.
Sweet, yeah.
Can I talk?
Yes, please.
Yeah, you can.
Of course.
I love the corridor shot too much. It really shows the nightmares to me. It reminds me also Little Nightmares 2, where the ending there's a corridor and a door. It really reminds me that, so I get the feeling of nightmare even more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
a locked
yeah.
door is often nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah,
Especially
really
with
good
all the
set.
brokenness going up to it.
Exactly, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Good set.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well done. I love you guys. Do such good work. Okay. Next. Or Amma, do you have anything else to say, or anyone else?
No? Do you want to say anything?
Okay. Sweet.
Just
Yeah.
well done. Well done, well done. Alright, next one. Okay, next we have Leia, or record photo, with a shot from God of War. And I'm gonna make a prediction. Mistis is gonna talk about body language.
What? No. Just for that, I'm gonna Google this word again. Traumatize myself. Hope you're happy.
And show it to me, or what?
And I'm gonna send it to all you guys, and you're just gonna hate me. Okay.
We love you
Um,
talking about body language.
um, I picked this piece from a compositional point of view. I just love the composition. I love the light coming in from the left, with the sort of misty look of the whole thing, and then you have these. So the lights coming in from the left, and I like that from the right. You have these rocks going upward to that light, and then if you look closer, you see this figure. So it doesn't the figure doesn't pop out at you immediately because it's it it looks like over time it's become one with the rocks, and and so I just really love that when we think of remnants, it's whatever's been left behind, and that could be a warrior or trinkets or whatever, and this is obviously someone who has armor on, so he was a warrior at one point. And I do, now that Amma said it, I love the body language because it's not just, oh, look, I'm just, flapped out on the ground after being stabbed, but it's, it feels like when I look at it, it's landed in purposeful. So like maybe the warrior was wounded and needed a place to hide or needed a place to rest or recover, and then it just died in that spot. So it was maybe not an intentional death, but a slow one just because of the fatigue. And then you just have these beautiful rocks that I just love the visual movement of the rocks. And so that's the other thing I like about it is when I look at it, I notice the rocks, and then as I go around the composition, I can see, oh wow, there's this figure, and here's this beautiful light and the mist. It's just a really gorgeous photo, and it's a gorgeous palette, you know. And so the artist couldn't be here today, so I wanted to sort of read what they say. Um, so this is a shot in a cave, God of War. It's a body sitting in the corner while light is shining through. I imagine this man was a warrior, lost in a fight, so he ran and hid in this cave, and eventually death came to him, which is exactly like what I saw when I first saw this. A feeling I got, and which, side note, makes me think about this is you have to give like kudos to developers or whoever's designing those signs that they think about, like, I don't know, they think about the atmosphere, whatever they're creating, and they come up with the stories of the NPCs or the dead bodies. So you can, as you, even though you may run by them, if you take a chance to look at them, you can see another depth into that world, which I think that's really a cool thing. And then while the warm light contradicts with the cold body, it just clicks me to take the photo for it. I love this shot because it shows it's a cruel yet beautiful world. It's an archival shot, so it was done not necessarily for this theme, but was definitely, the scene was speaking to them when they took it. And so they went through their archives and found it. They finished the story a long time ago and picked it back up recently to revisit the world and try to get platinum. More specifically, I was trying to find the next annoying crow when I took this picture, face with tears of joy. So it's well done. It's a really gorgeous photo. I like it.
And I said you're going to talk about body language because that's what speaks to me in this image.
Oh, absolutely. Just
Yeah.
the fact that you have one knee up and the legs out, there's obviously that sort of sinking action that happened.
Right.
You know, that fatigue that set in from maybe after the battle, and then the head, just that head popping down.
Yeah, and also,
so
I'm sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead, sweet.
It's also, it's calming. It might be, it might have been like a really big battle and something tragic has happened. I mean, it's a dead body, so obviously it's been tragic, but
Right.
it's still calming how she sits there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's just, and just the design of the rocks. I mean, it's a great shot, but then just when I think about like the person who is setting the scene up, it's just a beautiful setup scene with the rocks and the little tufts of grass going into that sort of misty sun.
Yeah, and something you would usually just walk by.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that's what sort of really moved me is, with the theme. So yeah, so well done. I love it.
Yeah, me too. It's really great.
Yeah. Okay, so
the next one. All right. Next up, we have Hedda with a shot from Detroit Become Human. Now, this one also had a song with it, and I also put the link and the name for the song in the description, so you can listen to that. And you really should, and you should really look at the video too, and listen to the song and look at the photos too, because it's magnificent. Like, it's really good, and it's a perfect match. And this one was taken with camera tools, probably, because Detroit doesn't have a photo mode. How did you do that, Hedda?
Like you said, with the cam tools, and it was actually an old shot. I just wanted to redo it with everything I have learned from the past year, because the first one was taken like a very long time ago, and I think a year has passed since. And I just, when I saw the theme, I had like days and days thinking about it, and what should I do? I don't have no idea what game, what, and I just wanted to do one with Detroit that was either Detroit or Man of Medan. Was either one of these two. I didn't want to go any other game because to me that was kind of too easy. And going for Man of Medan, that was way too easy as well. So I just went back in Detroit and I just remembered that little toy. And I was like, I can recreate it with a bit of skills I had. So I went for it. And then I think I just spent 4 minutes on it. Like I just point and shoot, and that's it. I have quite no story behind it. I just had a little struggle with the camera because this is a window. You just you have the kitchen behind, you have the garden on the other side, and you have just the toy on the the thing with the window. I don't have the word, and that's it. I'm sorry, I don't have much
Is
to
it maybe
say.
windowsill? Like the one that's under the window where you look out?
I don't know. You just have the
Well,
because
you're not asking the right person for it anyway. Like I'm not one to find the correct words.
but
I,
in fact,
I, would- I would have also said windowsill.
Right. Let's go with that.
yeah, but it's on the a little platform, and so you have the toy, the window, and then the kitchen. That's why it gives it that old, crappy, ugly, and dirty thing because the window is just dirty, and the kitchen is actually dirty because I didn't want to tie it up because in the game you can tie it up and just arrange everything and do the dishes, the trashes, and everything. And I did nothing because I just wanted to um, the house to look like just
Trash.
abandoned because this is
Yeah,
not you have a note farting guy on the left and you have a little girl on in the stairs, so there is someone in the house,
Right.
but I just wanted to for it to look like abandoned.
So did you do the selective color with the camera tools, or did you do that
No,
afterwards?
no, no, I use Photoshop.
Okay, cool.
yeah, I like that that popping out like that.
Yeah.
But that was actually a set too, and so you had two in black and white, almost black and white, like fitting grayscale, and the other two you have the toy in yellow and the little thing like the umbrella you have in the
The
garden.
umbrella, yeah,
Right.
the
Yeah.
umbrella.
Yeah.
That one was in yellow too,
Exactly. Yeah. So this was a
and
set
that's the
too, and
same
telling a
house.
story with a song. Yeah. But for me,
Yes,
this one
but
was easier to pick one shot to represent all my feelings in it.
yeah, but that's the sadness in it. It's because what you see, this is I didn't even think about it. I just remembered my toy and just point and shoot. So that's the sadness of me. So I just saw a toy and I went for it, and that's it.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Really? You didn't have any background
No, I
meaning
had
before that?
I
Oh.
had maybe, but not for not
Not
the
when you took
big,
it.
not these two, like the one with the toy and the one with the umbrella. No, I just wanted to make to have like a
A
good
complete
nice
set.
theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something abandoned. The story I had in mind was actually the other two.
Oh my
That was
god.
yes,
Oh
and
wow.
so
the,
so at the end of
that
the
was
day, this was like just the point and shoot, and that's it. No thought into it. Just like, oh,
no,
the
that's
toy, that's it. Through the
yes,
window,
that's
take
it.
it,
The
complete
ones
the set. I'm done. Let's do this thing.
Oh wow, but this is the one that resonated the most with me.
I
Because
know, but the one resonated the most with me was the last one.
yeah, the one with the what's it
That was
like a
actually
little
the one
toy
putting
in
the
Oh,
front?
the
toy.
the one with the shadow.
No, the one with the
She's
working
going
man.
into a room and you
Yeah,
just see
yeah,
her
yeah,
feet.
you see the shadow with the feet there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was also a very good one. So that's the one that resonated with Heather. But this one, that was the point
resonated
and
with me.
shoot.
Yes,
Awesome.
of course, of
That's
course.
really cool.
I
So
love the shoes,
yeah.
so I had to pick
Yeah,
one.
yeah. And it's not like black and white, it's like a gray
Yes,
scale. Like it
Mhm.
almost has like a bluish tinge to it.
Right.
yes, because so you have this house, which is actually pretty colorful, and it's not raining. That's notable.
Mhm.
It's not raining, and you have like a bright sky, but it's like the end of the day, so it's still a little gray. So you still have that gray scale. And in the other house where you have Connor, so Connor is the dude in the room, and this one is I went actually for the birds. So here I went for the toys, and for the other one I went for the birds. I didn't take the birds. I went for something else, but the one with the corner resonated with me because of the song, because to me it was like, so you start with the toy, and then you continue with the garden left abandoned as well, and then you have the room with this old stuff destroyed and damaged and everything, and then you just have this guy living or entering the room. So that's why the I am the only one was just the perfect song, and I love that song. It's just so epic, and it's just beautiful, and I love that song. And when I saw Connor entering that room, I was like, I want it. That's my shot. And then you pick the toy.
I'm sorry.
Like what?
Well, let me explain why I did that. So maybe you can forgive me. Anyway, anyone watching that should look at all of the entries. We put the moment in the description every time, so just check everyone out, because of course we don't have time to talk about everyone, but just check them all. But why I picked this one is because for me, it radiates the idea of remnants on various different levels and different interpretations. Um, uh, because on the first glance, it can actually be something nice and something just innocent, like a leftover toy from the childhood, from a child that has grown up and moved out and is thinking back fondly to remnants of youth somehow. But when you look closer at the image, you see that only the toy is in color. And in focus, and everything else is black and white and sort of blurred out and not clean, as you said. And this kind of makes us feel uneasy, and it lets you assume that there's something, not a fond memory, but maybe a dark memory going on. And putting that together with the song that you picked, which speaks of someone being the only one left, or standing and fighting against some unnamed terror until it's defeated, it paints an even darker picture. And then you start questioning what is that terror being fought. And then when you put that together with the story of the game and the location where you took it, um, it's even more striking, because it's the beginning of Kara's story. And we're not giving away too much when you say she's a maid, because it's the very beginning of the game.
Yeah,
She's
that's
a
the very
maid of some
beginning.
sort, and she's supposed to be the nanny of the daughter that's living in the house. And you, in the very first minutes, you see the father, and he's not treating the daughter very well. You find out later why that is, but not gonna tell that, of course. So if you put everything together, it tells the story of an innocent object, a child toy, being remembered in a dark area, in a dark black and white blurry area, and you see that it's not a happy childhood, maybe because of that abusive father.
To me, everything in Detroit just destroyed and remnants. I think that game screams. It all screams remnants. So that's why I wanted this one, because it's it's more like an image, an illustration, because nothing is said, or almost nothing is said, compared to other games where like you just like you go into the division, so it's a war zone. So everywhere you go, it's just remnants. But in this game, so you have the scenes, the sceneries, and then you have the story, which is so damaged. So
Hmm.
to me, I figured if I want this theme, so I have to go into this game and none other. Man of Medan or any Dark Pictures was just too easy. I wanted something more challenging, so that's why it took me quite a lot of time.
Awesome, you're
But
taking
then
on the art torture to
the
heart.
giraffe one, I was like, point, shoot, I'm done.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I even spent more time in Photoshop for that yellow thing.
Oh, but
And then,
without the yellow, it would not work so well, in my
no, no,
opinion.
no,
Like the
yeah,
yellow is
no,
what
no.
does it.
Without the yellow, it wasn't. No, it's just the the grayscale. I think
Yeah,
I
it's
had.
it's that contrast between the innocent childish toy and that remnant building that's blurred out and black and white.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
For,
Absolutely.
I
Okay.
have a
Um.
question.
Funny. I have a question too. Okay. So I'm actually glad that you actually color popped the toy because it like it looks new in a way if you think of it. Amongst like all the uncleanliness and that very moody feel. But I have to say when I first saw your full set that you posted, with the light with the window and the umbrella and then this one with the in the kitchen and then that last one where the light is hitting like the footsteps and everything and then you went and posted it with that amazing song and like audio visual with that trailer and for me that also like really resonated a lot with me because it was so powerful and impacting and it had me sitting back like oh my goodness this like sort of is me in a way as well because you take the audio visual from the trailer with the music and you put it with these photos it's like all of its brokenness but yet the like you say the innocence of the child that is represented brand new in like a color pop toy against like this whole kitchen area setup was just like so strong and powerful. And also with this image, um, if you have a look at it, it actually contrasts with like the light in the background. So your eye instantly looks at the toy and then it goes straight to the light. So like also within all this brokenness, the what's left and what's remained of the remnants. And like you say, I've never played Detroit and but I've heard quite a lot about it and then you say the story is also like completely broken as well. So yeah, this for me was very powerful as well. And I would have to say this was very well done. And but now you say it was just like point and shoot with this one. So
I'm sorry.
no, no, it's fine. A lot of times, like even in real photography, you get like those point and shoot situations, and some, like a majority of the time, it's like I even do it. So don't worry. I was like, oh, I'm like tired of this now. So can we just get done? So I just like point and shoot, and then be on my way. But then when you like sit back and look, and you're like, oh, that's actually not such a bad photo. You know what I'm saying? Let me use it. It's gonna be good and finish off the set. But yeah, the two like black and whites photos and then the two color pops were like brilliant with the music and the audio visual. So I have to give a big full hands clap for the set as well and this photo.
Oh, thank you. The
Yeah,
trailer is amazing.
great
Everyone should
job.
look at it.
Yeah.
It's a very, very talented guy, and you have to listen the full album. Not only the trailer, you have to listen to everything. Um, that that album is just epic. It's just wonderful. It's just
It's a
beautiful,
yeah, it is a great song and a great band.
and basically when I have anything to do with anything, I I have to use one of these songs, and I really love this album. I can listen to it all day long. I really
Yeah,
love it.
I agree with you because like after I saw that, I actually went into the rest of the albums as well, and I was like, wow, these are like really powerful songs. And like,
Mhm.
so the visuals with it were quite powerful. And I think I used one not so long ago as well. So yeah, to place your virtual photography pictures with a song can also impact and show more depth and give you more of a story behind each capture. So yeah, this is really great.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we put the song links in the description, so you should check that out, definitely.
Yes, you should definitely.
Sweet.
Right.
30D so efficient. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Should we move
Next.
on? Okay. The next one we have from Division 2, and it's by Jin, or Kimchi Traveler,
This
who...
one is actually my favorite.
Oh, that's cool. So sweet.
And I think I also picked it for the our Friday favorites. And
Oh,
I think
like a feature
I
on
think I picked
the
it
Capture
because when I
Connected.
saw it, I said, "Oh, this is good."
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
cool.
agree. It's like such a happy photo as well. It gives you such a warm feeling, like when you
Oh,
just look at it.
well,
And
Yeah.
it just
let's see
and it
about
just
that.
right into the theme. That's perfect.
Yeah, that definitely.
Yeah. The reason why I picked this one is obviously when you first look at it, you're just like, oh wow, this is really cool. It's an image of a father with his daughter, and they're obviously having a good day, and what looks kind of like a little mall setting, and it's just this sort of sweet kind of portrait of a family. And then you look just a little bit closer, and then you realize that it's actually just sort of an advertisement, and then it's surrounded by all this decay, this powder and plastic, and just this sort of then it to me, that's the gut punch. You look at it at first and you're like, oh, this is just really a sweet remembrance of something, and then it just slowly in your head, it just gets darker because you realize it's an advertisement of something that once was, that is not anymore. And then you realize just how just devastation surrounding it has just sort of taken uh, that period of time, that period of living, is now gone. So I just it's just a great composition. God, this is probably one of our most depressing little shows. But anyway, but yeah, and that's why I picked it, and I really love it. And then if you've ever played Division, I know exactly where it is and stuff, and you're just like, oh my god, yeah, it's just devastating. And Division is another game who does this stuff really well. Like, I mean, if you want to really look at decay, those guys just pull it off. Um, so I'm gonna uh, uh, talk about their artist statement. This is a photo from Division 2. It's the Jefferson Plaza mission. If you guys are playing and want to check it out, I tried to take pictures that are not common, and this photo is one of them. I like how the picture looks like a flashback to happier times. I wanted the dad and kid to be the focal point. To do that, I had to add a border. Without the border, it was hard to keep your eyes on them. The entire Division 2 map has remnants of the past with everything happening in our world at the moment. This picture makes me feel nostalgic for normalcy. Um, yeah, so it's just a really good shot. It's it's a good photo. I love it. Good composition, everything. And the color too, I like too, is the colors are just kind of muted.
Yeah, it's like sort of vintage
Soft.
in a way.
Right. Yeah, it has that flavor to it, and I really like that. It's
Mm.
just yeah, very nice. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, and
All right.
I can remember the mission really well. You go into a mall in the basement and because the outbreak was on Christmas, so there's like a Christmas village around, but
Right.
it's a contaminated zone, so you have to put your gas mask on. So it's really surreal because you're walking around in a Christmas village with your gas mask, and it's completely
Hmm.
deserted. So it it
Where is it?
breathes Remnant.
I have no memory of this.
You don't remember it?
No, where is it?
Jefferson Plaza. It's really down deep in the plaza. You go through like an interior mall hallway with mannequin.
Oh, the one with the big tree.
Yeah,
Like you
oh,
have
that's
like
a different one, I
two,
think.
three, 4 floors, and you have like the tree in the middle.
But this is covered in yellow powder. Like
Yeah.
you have to wear your gas mask.
I have no memory of this.
Yeah, it's I can't remember what the white powder the yellow powder is, but the mall is completely coated in it, and it's some type of poison.
It yeah, it's some kind of poison. Yeah, I don't
Medicine.
remember what it was. But
Yeah.
it was
It-
hard to remember because you do something first. Like you're upstairs in the mall, and then in the end you go downstairs into that contaminated area. But that's the one that
yeah,
actually sticks. Yeah.
yeah, and it has a lot of posters of like families hanging out in the mall and having a great time, and and this is and that's what I like about this. I think the other thing I like about it is it has a series of textures on it. So the more I look at it, the more I start seeing that paper, the bent paper, and the poster, and then you start seeing the degrading poster around the edges, and then you have the powder texture, and then you have this sort of plastic, this yellow plastic that's wrapped around it. And when you go onto that particular area, it's covered in like yellow plastic and this yellow powder. Um, and so once you get into that room, Amma was talking about with the Christmas tree, where you know kids used to meet Santa, and it's
Mm.
surrounded by restaurants. It's just very
Striking.
it's
It's
striking.
sad. Yeah, and it's also sad in a way because it's like you you're like in this wartime, right? So you look at this and you're remembering like what the world used to be, like all the joy and everything is just like
Right.
stripped away, and it's like just represented in this like photo, but at the same time it's like the joy of a child spending time with her father. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very
exactly.
surreal. Yeah, that's what I feel when I go into that area. It's kind of, well, this doesn't add up somehow. It doesn't
Right.
fit.
It's just
Yeah, it's
uneasy
really well done.
again.
Yeah, and it's such a visual change from the rest of the area just because of that
Mhm.
yellow powder, because everything has this yellow hue. And then there's even like it's foggy too because the powder, as you're going through it, and you're battling them, there's that sort of misty powder going around. So it's just really eh, that whole level is just an amazing thing for the senses and the brain, because your brain's
Mm.
going, what happened? I have to fight. What's this like it's just really well done. It's just a really good level. And
Nice.
sad, like, because you're also seeing these posters of what was, so it's just really good.
Yeah, and I think it's really brilliant to put the bars on it. I would never have thought of that. Like to
Yeah, I
keep it
wouldn't have
there.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's kind
Yeah.
of, if you take them away and crop it just square, it
Hmm.
it feels something's missing. It feels kind of boring. But if you put the bars there, they balance the whole color scheme out. It
Mm.
balanced
Uh,
the
with
shadows and the highlights.
Yeah, for me as well, like if you look at the bottom of the photo, I don't know if maybe that's like the yellow powder you guys are talking about,
Yeah, it is.
or
Hmm.
okay, so
Yeah.
yeah. So if you look at it, it kind of looks like if you take the time to look at it, it looks like it's like even sitting in the ruins, through all this plastic and this like yellow powder and everything. And it's like what was, but now it's in the ruins. So
Right.
it is very powerful. And with just that like lighting at the back of
Mm.
the little girl also
Mhm.
just like pops the picture a lot. And probably with like the yellow texture and the smoke in that
Mhm.
basement area probably just adds that extra layer and misty texture to the photo.
Yeah, because the neat thing about the lighting is in the photo, right? So because of the poster, but then there's also lighting because this poster is also in one of those, when they put advertisements kind of in a box, right? That you just kind of walk through a mall or whatever. And it's kind of like surrounded by columns, and these posters are sort of in those columns. And because everything's covered in powder, the neat thing about this, and it also ages it a little, is the light that comes behind the girl is in the poster, but then there's also lighting in that floor,
Right.
right? So
Yeah,
it's
it's
Okay.
perfectly
you know
matched. Yeah.
yeah, so it's just this kind of like
The
bizarre thing.
contrast. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
contrast between, look, it's a sunny day, he's with his daughter, they're enjoying the mall, you can see the mall in the background, all the columns and stuff and the plants. And it's and then on top of that, as you go through it, you realize it's still Christmas. And then you just see all this powder that's kind of like, and it's lit like mall lit, so there's this sort of light source in the ceiling also dealing with that. So it's just kind of a
Mm.
double whammy when you see it, and you're just like, oh, stuff's gotten real, sort of thing.
Okay.
What
But
Jin just said in chat, she had to crop it because there was a true sun in the corner, button up.
all right.
I'm actually glad she cropped it because now the
Yeah,
main focus is on,
Yeah. It was a double win. You cropped out the dead true sun and you got the focus.
right.
the
Yeah.
fake sun.
Well done.
So yeah, no, well done, well done.
It's
Okay.
perfect.
Next one. Last one for the shower. And we have Harry with a shot from a Plague Tale, Innocence. But
Yeah.
this one was also edited outside of game, right?
Yes. Yes. I
What
edited
did you do? Like,
on
how
my
did you
phone.
take it?
I'm using Snapseed
Oh, okay.
to edit. There is this editing tool called Noir. It adds this grainy effect, wash effect, and black and white. Photo was originally black and white, but when you edit, it looks way more better and way more atmospheric. Sorry. I actually thought a couple of ideas before taking this job. I thought I checked the pictures and I was thinking about taking it from that Stranding, but then I changed my mind. I was gonna shoot some footsteps, but that Stranding wasn't about remnants, it was about connections, bridges. But Black Tail is all about remnants. Then I thought which chapter I can take a picture. Then I just remembered that chapter because it has really good effect on me. You just walk into from something like lake, you follow the aqueduct and see dozens of bodies left over from war, which was the title of this photo. I was walking among crops and I just see it's so far away. There's two crows just standing in corpse. I just loved it and take a shot of it. And I thought it's really fits the theme because in behind there is even more corpses. Crow, crows. Sorry, I'm a little bit hungry, so I'm having a hard time talking. So that's it actually. I just saw it and it reminds me remnants left over from the war and forgotten.
Sweet. Yeah, it fits perfectly. So, what stood out most for me in the shot is your composition. Because I love that the body builds a perfect triangle, and the triangle splits it in half, the image, vertically, and the left side and the right side balance each other out. Because on the left you have the head, or what I assume is the head, and that's very bright and therefore it grabs your attention. And then on the right, it's balanced out by the crow that is sitting on top of that spear or wood or whatever that is. But this is very dark, but because you have it in front of the bright background, it brings in, or it draws in your attention just as well. So it's kind of like yin yang, the two sides. You have that dark one on the right and the light one on the left, and they balance each other out, making the whole thing um, very even, very equal. But then it's also not balanced horizontally, because you have that really large negative space at the top, which for me that dissonance increases the feeling of gravity in the motive, that you have that isolated, lonely warrior that died on the battlefield, because it's a very lonely death, and no one's mourning you, no one's there to cry for you or help you in the end or anything. Yeah. And I think you picked the perfect game. I mean, that game is just 100% Remnants.
Yeah, you left your family, you see corpses everywhere, rats eats people. It's really all about remnants.
Yeah. For me,
Actually,
sometimes it was even a bit too much. Like you have
yeah,
it everywhere, and sometimes it's a bit too much in your face, because, like you said, this was taken on the battlefield, and you basically you walk on bodies, which is very
yeah,
striking, but it's also it's everywhere, so it's kind of hard. But you still managed in the image, because you blurred out all the background, and you made it black and white, to still have that one soldier standing out and being your focal point despite all that noise what's going on. So the
actually, my
editing really worked extremely well.
yeah, actually, my favorite thing about shot is crows. I don't know why, but I love crows a lot.
Yeah, crows and
Yeah,
ravens.
it's
They're smart. They're smart birds.
Mm.
What's not to love about them? Yeah. Well, this is just really awesome. It's really sad and really moving, but so well done from the composition that you still want to look at it longer, despite the severe and very sad topic. And its
Thank you.
remnants belong. Great job.
I spend a lot of time editing it.
Yeah, and you can see that. So really cool.
yeah, it's a beautiful image. Just striking, yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Sweet.
anything? I guess that was the last shot, right?
Okay, so I'm emotionally drained, so now I'm gonna Google that word again.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
I mean, if I'm going down big.
Shall
As
we
long as you
lift
keep
you
it
up?
to yourself.
Here, we'll lift you up by the striking reaction we will get for the new theme.
Oh God, yeah, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be a big one.
I'm scared.
You are, well, you don't have to do it, so
I know.
like, All right, all right. Are you folks ready for a new theme?
Yes.
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 Oh, yes,
Yes.
that's a good answer. Okay, so you guys have been doing so well and you've done such creative stuff that we thought, okay, this is too easy. So we're gonna ramp up the torture for the
Right,
next
yeah.
one.
So easy.
It's too easy, we're gonna make it more torture. Okay, for the next one, we want you to submit a set of 2 images, telling a story or a contrast or anything. They have to work together for the theme.
Okay.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2 images for the next one.
Okay.
Okay, and because it's another theme that we are doing like the second year, because we're 1 year old, we're gonna add 21. So it's gonna be Wine Time for the Rave or WTPR September 21. So just remember that. But it's gonna be on the announcement anyway. So okay,
It's gonna be 2 images matching, right?
yes, exactly, 2 images. And here's gonna be the theme. It's gonna come the drum roll. Oh, wait, you guys silence. Where's the cricket? I should put a
Detours. Oh my
cricket sound
goodness.
in there somewhere.
I need to check my dictionary.
All right, the new theme is detours.
I actually had like all your guys' names like panel over it, so I'm like, oh my goodness, I see that she like showed us, but I can't see it because it's covering it. So I'm like busy moving it out the way, and it's like detours. I'm like, oh, what?
Yep.
Like that's so easy.
What?
I'm
Oh,
joking,
okay.
you.
Now I'm
That was
excited. Let's
sarcastic.
see what you come up
Okay,
with.
that's how we're gonna play it now, huh? How
No,
that's
no,
how we're
it's like sarcastic easy. Because the
Right,
themes are
right.
like the most intense like themes I've ever seen in my life before, and I'm like, how do they even come up with this stuff? So like, yeah, it's crazy. This is
It's
actually
a
a
lot of
very
wine and a lot of uh art. It's usually
well,
just a lot of wine.
uh, okay, well, I wouldn't know anything about the a lot of wine part because I don't drink at all, but um the hard work part and actually wrecking your brain in like what are you gonna do for this theme is probably gonna cause people to drink a lot of wine.
Oh no, that's not what we want. Please, people, we don't want to make you alcoholics.
No, 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 we don't. That was just a joke.
We're gonna make you artists. Well, you are artists already, so yeah.
nice.
How'd you like it?
I don't know
I
how
can
to
think
do
on
it.
something. I
Sweet.
have ideas.
Oh, good.
I can do it.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I've got like my brain's running already.
Sweet.
Oh, I have a crazy idea. Mew, where are you?
Oh, crazy and challenging. I love that already. All
Oh,
right.
I have an idea.
Oh, cool.
Oh, her
Don't
brain's
tell us. Don't
working.
tell us yet.
Great.
Well, thank you
Yay.
so much for being here.
You guys did a great job. All the submissions were fantastic. I love seeing these submissions because it's getting harder and harder to pick. I'm always like, okay,
Right?
here's 5. Yeah, it's so hard. So I'm just so excited about what you
So,
guys.
but then at the end of the day, it's also like a challenge for you too, like picking the photos because it's
Oh
not
yeah,
just a challenge for the visual photographer, it's a challenge
Oh
for
yeah,
you guys.
yeah, definitely.
for sure. Yeah.
It's getting more and more challenging too. Like more people join in, and people think in weird, crazy ways that you would never have guessed they do. Yeah, it's getting more and more torture for us too.
I can like just picture you guys like sitting there looking at your screens and your jaw like drops like with half of the photos and you're like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And like,
Yeah, we're
oh
just
no.
crying constantly.
We don't want to
Yeah.
make people cry for not choosing their photos, but at the same time, we want to make people happy. Especially with like the influx of everyone coming in and joining in like for the future as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No,
one day you're gonna look back and you're like, oh, I miss our small numbers.
Well, yeah,
it's
I mean the first show is 1 month, 1 year and 1 month. So that was our first show 1 year and 1 month ago, and we had 5 entries. So that was easy picking
Yeah, I'll say.
because we take 6 guests. So that was a good, good easy pick.
well, and the great thing too about it is like it didn't. I mean, it inspires me. Like
Mhm.
I like looking at them and going like, oh, well, I would have never have thought about that or had taken something like that, and it. I don't know. I just like the fact that it's also inspirational to be on the other side, like looking at these and thinking about them and stuff. You know, so it's just
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, because like you like look at all these different ways of everyone how they see like everything, and it gives you a new perspective on things.
Exactly.
mm,
And
yeah.
it's always interesting to see that we can have one vision or our vision of one shot or one idea, and when you hear it from the person who took that shot, it's completely different. And that's really crazy sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that actually gives me an idea. You know, you guys should totally do like a challenge where, or a theme, like you give like a certain game, um, or like you give a certain amount of games just to make it fair for everyone, because I know not everyone has all the games with photo mode in it, and you do like a certain subject, and then I'm telling you, you'll look at each and everyone's photos that took the same photo of, say, one subject. They won't look the same at all.
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, we don't want to
Yeah.
limit it to games because we want to keep it as open as possible, but keeping like one subject is something, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that idea. Okay. Well, great. This was fantastic. Thank you so much. What a great turnout too. Thank you for all the people on YouTube joining us.
Yeah. You've been an
Wolf,
awesome
Ed,
chat.
yeah, Kimchi joining in. Peter, Sparpuck.
Darklink. We got
Yeah,
Darklink in the chat, and we have
yeah,
Matt and Jin and Kadeem and
yep,
Eggs.
yep. Oh, here's Matt. Okay, yeah. So this was great day, guys. What a wonderful day.
And Neo, and wait, Neo, you're in the show too.
Yes.
Wait, I was there?
Like that,
Here?
that
Oh
was
my god!
that was very
Wow, like,
confusing.
wow.
Ah, finally. I
She's
was
she's in
wondering
two
when there was
places
a.
at once.
Yeah, yeah. Don't do that to me.
Wait, I want to join in too now. Hi.
Gosh. Oh, well, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us all. It was really awesome, and especially for me, I've never done this before, so I really actually had fun. I have to say, I had a lot of nerves like in the beginning, and I actually am much calmer, and now I can go to bed and pass out.
Nice.
Yeah, I think everyone is almost.
Mm, sweet.
Well, thank you again, and thanks internet, thanks chat, and see you around.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye.
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 Good night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Sleep tight.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams. Have a good day tomorrow.